Mountain Too High guy, the Prefontaine, he's good for scouting. So
having all that elk meat in the freezer is more of a trophy for me than the antlers on the wall. I can't eat the antlers, you know.
Yeah. Not to be weird, there's a book called The 5 Love Languages that all men should read to help your marriage, or if you just want to pick up chicks.
Oh, you just know when you see the elk, that's the one I want to shoot. Or, nah, that one I don't really want to shoot.
In my case, that's all of them. No. I passed a few up, but that was in the first 5 minutes of the hunt.
This is Joe Rogan, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
I just Randy Black Eagle.
That's it. Boom.
That's
how we roll. Just drop the mic and walk away.
Lots and lots and lots of handgun stuff, and really getting some really fun, awesome content.
Handguns are just sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They kind of are.
It's gun porn.
Yeah, it really is.
It's gun porn. And it's the short gun porn. Like, really? For handguns, what people want to see is these just like gorgeous pictures of firearms and everything. And then with rifles, it's different. People want to see this aspirational, like, oh my gosh. In fact, Ryan Bussey just... he challenged me on Facebook with those like 7 days of nature. I don't know.
I fail those every time, man.
And literally we're sitting there together. He's like, I'm sitting next to you. You can't not do it. I'm like, oh my God.
7 black and white, 7.
So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And he was.
So say a guy is going to, Colorado and he's going to hunt mule deer late season. What Kimber rifle is really the go-to rifle? Okay, friends, on this episode of Gritty Bowmen, Mark Brownlee and myself visit with Rachel Vandevoort of Kimber Firearms at the annual Backcountry Hunters and Anglers Rendezvous. Kimber is an American company that designs and manufactures premium firearms for individual, sporting, and law enforcement and military markets. Basically, Kimber makes sweet guns, and Rachel is the trade relations manager at Kimber. Rachel shares her thoughts on guns, calibers, conservation, hunting, and more. She talks about bear spray versus guns, and she's adept at helping people rationalize the purchase of new firearms.
You can never have too many.
Yeah.
I help so many people It's so like I rationalize the purchase, and it's like, but my wife, and I'm like, how many Coach purses is your wife hanging in her closet? Let's speak in terms that women will understand. Like Jimmy Choo shoes, really? Like how many pairs? Like we can work through this. Like there are ways to get this done.
Rachel is fun, and she's a wealth of knowledge. We like her because we think she's pretty dang gritty. We had a great time visiting with her, and we think you will too. All right, folks, welcome to the Gritty Bowmen podcast. We're here in Missoula, Montana at the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers Rendezvous. Doesn't that sound sort of...
It struck me that way too. The first time I heard it, I'm like, we're rendezvousing?
Yeah. It's a little sketchy. Like
either
maybe...
we're trappers or we're naughty. One or the other. That's right. I don't know.
like Lan says to me, yeah, like the trappers. And I'm like, or like the couple having an affair. Yeah, like
we've all been there. I was totally there with you as well.
Okay, so I didn't put the trapper thing to I just am not enough mountain man to put that connection in place.
Right.
But
how do you like it so far?
It's awesome.
You love the people?
Oh yeah,
right.
The reason you go to, let's say, ATA, and it's neat because there's all these archery people there, and then you go to the Hunt Expo, and there's all these hunters, and But you come here, and it's serious conservation people, people that just care about the environment and fighting for political things, and they're kind of the ones that are going to help ensure that our kids have land in the future. It's just a neat place to be.
That's the plan. Yes. Yeah, no, it's an amazing place, and last year was my first time coming to the Rendezvous, and I didn't actually know what to expect.
Yeah.
So coming here, I actually came in with some preconceived notions based on my knowledge and understanding of other, things that go on.
Yeah.
And I came in and I was absolutely blown away. I was like, these people are amazing. You have people from every walk of life. Mm-hmm. You have professionals in environmental studies, have been biologists for 30 years. You have got military folks. You've got your average banker. You've got, for me, it just reiterates the fact that there are certain common like goals and values that are it's a line between all sorts of people.
Yeah, it transcends
boundaries.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it was just, I was blown away. And to know the people, they're so welcoming, they're so nice and so fun to talk to. And it's a fantastic place.
So, and for the folks listening, we're here with Rachel.
Yes.
And how do you say your last name?
Oh, geez. I married a Dutchman. It's Rachel Vandevoort. Vandevoort.
Vandevoort?
Vandevoort.
Vandevoort.
Yeah, no, the R is the faux pas. Vandevoort.
Vandevoort.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's Dutch?
Oh, yeah.
Vandevoort.
Yeah,
he's a wonderful man. He loves to clean. As most Dutch people are very orderly and love to have everything organized and clean. So I'm the girl that makes the mess and cooks, and then he cleans up after me constantly.
Nice. That's a good partnership.
Oh,
right
it
there.
is. It's awesome. He might want to bludgeon me once in a while, but I appreciate him.
And you work for Kimber.
I do. I work for Kimber Kimber Manufacturing. So
Kimber Manufacturing.
Those of us in the hunting world obviously know us as Kimber, rifles, and I actually come from a super funny background. Kimber on the world game is a huge manufacturer of handguns. And that's actually the majority of what we do. Obviously, rifles are an important part of our business. I was the geeky kid. I was a college kid. I was totally broke. I was a competitive rifle shooter, and so I wasn't competitively shooting anymore. So I hawked my on-shoots and my Dana air rifle. I hawked those because I was tired of borrowing my dad and my grandpa's shotgun and rifle. And so I hawked that stuff, and I bought a Kimber Montana and a 7mm08 and a Benelli shotgun. It was like, I didn't have any money, so I had to hawk stuff. And so it's funny, I of course knew Kimber as a rifle manufacturer.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, how I ended up at Kimber, I got in there and I was like, "Do Kimber makes handguns? What?" I'm like, "What?" And you did not say that out loud. And I'm like, "I will totally say that out loud. I'm sorry, I didn't roll in that circle. I hunt. So yeah, Kimber Manufacturing. We make a lot of really amazing stuff. It's just an awesome company to work for.
Yeah, I want to get into that a little bit more. Before we do that, can you tell folks, people that are listening, kind of your hunting background?
Oh, sure. So I don't have a memory of not hunting. My dad was a hunting and fishing guy. Well, first of all, hunting has just been a part of my family.
Yeah.
For ever, I guess. I don't, my dad was a hunting and fishing guide when I was growing up. He is such an amazing and wonderful man, and I realized this later in life, and he is so generous with his time and teaching people how to do things. And so and my dad is a hardcore hunter. We're talking the guy that would take off into the Bob Marshall with a backpack and hoping he would find some food. And so I was a little girl, his little girl, I didn't have any siblings at the time. So his only child. And so as a hardcore hunter, I would then be like, "Hey Daddy, I want to go with." He didn't say, "Nope, not this time. You can't go." It was absolutely, I'll change my plans. We're going to go and do some good old-fashioned drive the truck to a spot, and we're going to walk a quarter of a mile because you're a little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He really...
Wow.
So I grew up with that, and my grandfather, too. My grandfather was for as passionate about hunting, I'm more passionate about fly fishing, but I'll stick it to hunting for you guys. So I just grew up that way, and, of course, as soon as I could take hunter safety, I took hunter safety and started hunting, and just hunting's always been a part of my life. Mostly, and it's funny because everybody's like, "Oh," and especially now in my industry, it's like, you must have hunted in all these amazing places. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from Montana." I don't know if you know where I'm from. There's not a lot of drive making me leave here to go do something.
Right.
We got a lot going on here. So yeah, I absolutely love to hunt. It's fantastic. I am fortunate to be married to a fantastic hunter. He's accomplished and amazing, and I learn things from him all the time, and so we've got a great thing going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I coming here, Mark, we're not much into guns. We haven't done a lot of it. I've done
it's a shame.
some rifle hunting.
My rifles are lighter than your bows.
My wife had to buy me a gun. They wouldn't even let me buy a gun. But
they wouldn't.
That's cool. I archery hunt too. I don't hunt like I used to, but that's cool, man.
But that's where I'm I rifle hunt, but I just grab a rifle and go.
Mm-hmm.
I got my own, or I had a nice, I had a regular old rifle for a long time, and then I sold it and bought another bow, and slowly. Kind of, but I'm leaning back toward, doing a little more rifle hunting. This year, I've got a couple of rifle tags. So
that's awesome. Where'd you draw?
Well, I'm applying to Colorado.
Okay.
which I got to do the deadlines like now.
Oh, I know. I'm going to be in New Zealand when Montana's due, so I got to like get this stuff done.
Yeah. So, and I should draw. I should be guaranteed to draw a late season mule deer hunt.
Awesome.
So that's I drew a bear tag for Prince of Wales, which I did with my bow. I've been there twice. So going back, but not sure how I'm going to hunt it, whether I use a bow or whether I use a gun.
Very cool.
Depends on how we do it. But yeah, I want to know. I want to hear about your rifles, though. Like,
you want to hear about what I offer?
What does Kimber? What's unique about Kimber? That's
Kimber's
different?
Actually very unique, and our rifles are fantastic, and they're created by people who know and care, which is what is even more fun about it. Those of us in Montana, we have a lot of input, obviously, in our hunting rifles, and we're part of the development process. But what Kimber did in the early years, Kimber actually started out as a rifle manufacturer and then went into handguns and has continued to manufacture rifles.
Yeah.
The big difference between Kimber and other firearms manufacturers, we manufacture our actions around the caliber family. So we don't just use one action and block it off so you have the same amount of weight or even more weight for the smaller calibers. What we do is we actually have an 84M, 84L, 8400, 84 short mag. The 8400 is a short mag or a win mag actions. So you're never getting more rifle than you need. And that's what's really led us. It's led us into being the leaders in the charge of the lightweight, hunting rifles. So that barrel contours, all sub-MOA guarantee out of the box. But lots of, features and finishes that mountain hunters are really looking for. My personal favorite that we offer is the Mountain Ascent, and it's an amazing rifle, and it was really designed, for those of us out in the mountains, but people carry it all over the place. It doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
But, we shave off weight by fluting the barrel, fluting the bolt handle, all that kind of stuff.
Because I've heard of Kimber, I've seen it around, but I didn't really, but we were at the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yep.
And we had Bolin Lewis Outfitters on the show.
Great guys.
And
super great
awesome.
guys.
Yeah,
Have you seen?
We had Spike and Alan.
Okay. Did you see
the bear?
The bear.
Yeah,
video?
I saw the bear.
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous, right?
A GoPro on the Kimber, and that I was just like, "You're kidding me!" It was amazing.
And he doesn't pull the trigger, So what I wanted to ask you about was, so they talked about packing with the rifle, lightweight, shorter barrel even,
Yep. You can get shorter barrels, absolutely.
And they're throwing out some weights, and I don't remember what it was, but it was
4 pounds, 13 ounces.
Ridiculously light.
Yep. It makes a difference. And, that's one of the things.
I packed an old 30-06 Savage, and I think it was 10 pounds.
Yep. And that's even super heavy. Like you can even
that was with synthetic stock and the whole deal. And
you think about that, that's 6 pounds. What are you going to do with 6 pounds in your pack? 6 pounds.
Dude, I carried it. It was heavy.
You can carry a bottle of bourbon and some in your pack if you need to. And that's the thing. And even if you stack up the Mountain Ascent or our mountain rifles against other light, quote unquote, lightweight rifles, you're still saving about 2 pounds on that. And so, and that's, all of us. I mean, I made all the guys in the office go through an exercise. And I said, what would you do with 2 extra pounds in your pack? They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, no. So if you're carrying our rifle and compared to something else, like what else would you put in your pack? What other extra gear or what's in your pack that weighs that? And we had guys coming in and we'd have piles of stuff on the scale, depending on what it is. Right.
Yeah.
And you realize how much you really can save.
Yep.
It's really fun to work for the company and really make good stuff and stand behind it and have so many people time after time and again just want to tell you what an amazing experience they had here. And it's a good deal. Yeah.
That's cool. So what brings you to BHA and Kimber? And, I see you're out here and you're talking to people.
Sure.
How did that happen?
So I'm trade relations manager for the company, and so I work a lot of consumer shows and things like that. Mm-hmm. Kimber likes to work with conservation partners. We work with Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. We work with Boone and Crockett, and we're trying to work with other folks as well.
Yeah.
And BHA, obviously came on the scene, and we wanted to help be a part of that. And from Kimber's point of view, let's just talk pure math and pure numbers. If we're providing hunting rifles for people, and we feel a lot of those people are hunting on public lands, and those people can't hunt public lands, then none of us are in business, are we now? And So we just feel that, the people that support us, we need to support them as well. So it's a way, just a way for us to help.
Well, it's been kind of a theme on this weekend where we've talked about it a few times. Unfortunately, we're not seeing a lot of that from companies. They're not stepping up and doing what you're talking about, Kimber doing.
I really think it's coming. It's coming more and more. I feel
you look around at this show,
yep,
and you kind of see who is here and who's not.
Yeah, but you look at those headliners on that, and who are the industry leaders? So where industry leaders go, others will follow.
Yeah.
So it's about making those leads. I mean, what do you see? You see you got First Light, you got Sitka, you got Weatherby, you got Kimber, you got Yeti, you got
yeah.
I mean, I'd like to toot everyone's horn there. They're all great companies and they work really hard. And I'm sure I'm leaving some guys off. But there's a fantastic group of people and super Loophole. Sorry, Loophole, love you. Shane, don't hurt me. There's just really quality companies that get it. Federal Ammunition is here. He's going to be sitting with us at dinner tonight, the gentleman that represents them. So a lot of people are taking note and really understanding that. And yes, we need to help elk. We need to help mule deer. We need to do all of that. It's a big team effort. But, obviously the land that they're on is another component to that.
No, that's really neat. So how did Kimber get involved? How did you get involved?
Oh, how did I get drug in?
And you kind of have a bigger role, even.
I do. I am actually the newest member on the National Board of Directors for BHA, and go ladies. Brian Bussey is our VP of Sales at Kimber, and he's known of the organization and been around the organization for a long time. And of course, that's how BHA got connected with Kimber and our nonprofit work and programs and everything, and just started a relationship there. And last year's Rendezvous was the first Rendezvous that I actually came to. And as I mentioned, I came, they asked me to moderate the women's panel.
Yep.
They wanted me to be involved. I didn't realize that Bussey had been talking about me for quite some time. And Bussey's an awesome guy and very involved, and felt that I could probably work with everybody. I have a little bit about myself. I have a degree in resource conservation, fisheries, and watershed management. So essentially I have a degree in being an overeducated fly fisherman. And
that's important.
It's important. So you know when you fail and why you failed and how you can't overcome it. And so I have a great, background in resource conservation, and I never put it to work. And I am the super geek. I'm like the geeky, fisheries fangirl that's meets a fisheries biologist. And I'm like, oh my God, I totally want to talk to you. I mean, so much and I'm such a dork that way. And so, with that background and just my upbringing and everything, Bussey felt like I would be a really great fit to come in and talk and work with everybody. And so after last year's Rendezvous, they approached me and asked me if I would consider being on the national board. So it's fun.
Cool.
I'm definitely the new girl on the block, but everybody here is, it's so energizing and so refreshing. And it's a personal thing for me, to be involved. And I grew up, I didn't comprehend the fact that what I had couldn't be there. I mean, or
that there were people who fought for it to make it be there.
Exactly. Let's know some history.
Oh, it's just always been there.
Exactly. And that's what people think. It's always been there in that form for me to use, and it will never go anywhere.
It's not covered in school, man. I'm telling you, I was there. It doesn't seem that long ago. We didn't talk about it there.
I know. And so, and learning that, and that's what I love. I mean, I love being in a room with people. There's so many people here who have so many years of knowledge and history, and it's just I feel like I'm a sponge all over again. And I love having that. And, it's awesome for me to learn different ways and new ways to help communicate and help people understand.
Yeah.
People don't understand would you even care about that? Or hey, it's there's issues going on in Utah right now. It has nothing to do with you. Oh no, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's called federal land, and if you're aware, we own that. Yeah. I own that land. You own that land. And Utah would like to take that from you. So if your neighbor came over and said, actually, this part of your backyard, that's actually my backyard, and I'm going to take it from you, okay, somebody's going to have an issue. There's going to be a problem.
Yep.
And so to draw these parallels and help people understand, this is your land that people want to take away from you, that it's in jeopardy, and we need to keep it healthy, we need to keep it happy, and there for everyone.
Yeah.
And so to help, bring that to light, just even in my small community.
Yeah, we've been talking about it quite a bit, but again, I think most hunters and most people out there, they don't realize that the way that there are people who want this public land to be private, and they want it for themselves, right?
That's an easy way to cut to the chase.
Yeah, but the way they're trying to get it, they're making it sound like they're doing you a favor.
Right.
Hey, we'll move it over into this state control, and then you'll get this awesome use of your public land.
Right.
Not telling you the truth that really the end goal here is to steal it from you.
Yeah.
Privatize it.
Even if you want to pretend that bad intentions weren't in there, and you wanted to pretend that it were for the best intentions, you need to look at examples, and you need to look at the history, and you need to look at historically, like really actually what happens.
I'm past the whole they had good intentions thing. There's too much money pushing the whole thing.
I know. I'm the worst. Oh, my God, I'm the worst. I think the best of everyone. Like, I am 100%.
Over there, I'm like, no, come to the dark side.
I know. And they're like, and everybody's like, when are you going to become jaded? And I'm like, I don't think ever.
No, in some ways, yes, I do think there's some people that have a legitimate, although naive.
It's not educated.
Yeah.
And really, we need to figure out ways to educate people more and help them understand, exactly what's going on and explain it in a different way. And I have many friends in our media, in our hunting media, magazines, TV, and we talk about this. So this is what we talk about. And how better can we educate people?
Yeah.
How better can we explain this to them? Because I don't want somebody to have to sit down and read a history book, right? I want them to just have a clear issue.
Yeah. I don't think so. No, there's a lot of distractions walking around.
What is somebody doing out there?
Well, Ty, the other day, he pulled his shirt up and showed me his nipples. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean.
That's awesome. That's why I'm here before dinner and not after dinner.
We did have that talk. We needed the requirement to interview Rachel was before the alcohol.
Just being honest and knowing myself, right? I like to have a little beverages with dinner. I want to be able to actually articulate words. The words, they're coming not out so much. But that's the fun part, right? This is like this huge family of people out here, and it's fun. I'm the worst person with names, but I see so many repeat faces and just how fun they are, and now everybody's teasing each other and ribbing each other and having fun. And
it's a great community to be in.
Really cool people,
right?
Oh yeah,
yes.
I know.
And we've got to talk to some really cool people.
I
wanted to, before we wrap up, I want to hear some cool Rachel hunting story.
Well, I want to know about New Zealand.
Yeah,
New Zealand.
That too.
I know. I'm so very excited. It's funny. I could have stood up there, and I hosted the women's panel this afternoon, and I felt like I could have stood there and been like, okay, so what I'm preaching here to y'all, like, you can do this on your own. You can plan a hunt. You do not have to be an expert. Let's just do some preparation, some planning.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine, he's the editor of Peterson's Hunting, Mike Scobie, who is also on the board of directors for Backcountry Hunters and Anglers.
Okay.
He, of course, is editor of Peterson's Hunting, and if you haven't seen it yet, Wheels of Field, which is a freaking kick-butt magazine. It's very adventurous, very, a mixture of all kinds of stuff. New magazine they've got out. He is also the host of Peterson's Hunting TV. There's actually three hosts. There's Craig Boddington and Kevin Steele and Mike Scobie. And Mike decided that he wanted to take his segments off in a different direction. And so he's been doing for the last, this will be year 3, he's been doing what's called Border to Border. And Border to Border is how kind of, I think you and how we all hunt. It's mostly do it yourself, adventurous. Yeah. It's about the experience.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily, it's not that I do guided hunts and you can do guides. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's more about like, hey, I'm going to go meet up with my brother and we're going to do something. So his first season, he did Mexico to Alaska in 40 days and did 7 hunts between here and there. Wow. And I actually, how we kind of got to know each other and met, I used to be a raft guide. And so he was doing a moose hunt.
Is it like every girl in Montana used to be a raft guide? I mean, for real.
Yeah, rafting, fishing guide. I got over that really quick. But he's like, hey, remember we talked, like we got to know each other and you mentioned that you were a raft guy? I'm like, yeah. He was like, so I'm floating the South Fork the Snake and it's a moose hunt and I need somebody to row my cameraman down the river and all the gear. I don't suppose you'd come and do that. And then while we're hunting, you can fish. And I was like, I think I can schedule that in. I can totally do that. And so we got to, anyway. So he was doing that trip. Then last year he did the Lewis and Clark Trail. He stopped with he and his wife stopped in antelope hunted with my family and I.
Yep. Okay.
I got my little boys out there antelope hunting, and so that was a fun trip. And this year he wanted to do New Zealand. He wanted to do like about 4 or 5 episodes in New Zealand, and to hammer that out in a decent amount of time, he called Neil Davies from Hornady Manufacturing and myself and his wife, and we're all 4 of us are going to go over there with 2 camera guys, and we're going to film border to border New Zealand.
Ooh.
So starting, oh geez. So, and it's fun, like I was telling the ladies, I'm like, if you're going to do something like this, you need to my biggest apprehension about like planning a hunt with other people is I wasn't quite sure where their head would be. I feel much more comfortable going on my own. I'd rather go out there by my own. I didn't know where their head was going to be, and I didn't know where they would be physically. Like, it was about like, but we're supposed to meet here, and like, what if I lose you, and how am I going to find you? And then Garmin made a rhino, and now I'm like the happiest camper on the planet. So anyway, but we just communicated. It's like, hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to plan this? We have 2 juicy camper vans rented and all of our backpacking gear, and we're going to do some like backpacking for tar and chamois. We're going to do red stag. We're going to do fallow deer. We're even bringing traps for little weasels around. Evidently, weasels and possums are an issue there.
Nice.
I am an equal opportunity shooter.
Hunter.
Bring it. But we did agree we have to cook and eat everything that we kill.
Why not?
So I don't know what weasel tastes like. I plan to find out.
Just watch for the trichinosis, but other than that, you should be good.
That is so cool.
It'll be fun. It'll be a good time, and it's really about like we've hammered it down. It's like, all right, this is an adventure. Let's do this. And so 3 weeks we'll be traveling around. We fly into Queenstown, and we're going to go from there up to Christchurch and do all kinds of stuff. So and it's not just about hunting; it's about fishing as well. So we're going to do.
Yeah, New Zealand has some amazing fishing too.
I'm so excited! so exciting! Oh, it's so great.
What a cool place to visit, too.
So, yeah, I'm very excited. It'll be a great trip, and looking forward to it. Really good friends, good adventures together, so it'll be great.
So, say a guy is going to, Colorado, and he's going to hunt mule deer late season. What Kimber rifle is really the go-to rifle?
Sure, Mountain Ascent. Mountain Ascent.
Ascent?
Yeah, you really can't beat it. That rifle just rocks. It's got a threaded barrel on it, so we've got a muzzle brake that comes with it that really, really thoroughly rocks. For those states, obviously, you can put a suppressor on, which that's even a happier time. Then, it's just super lightweight. It's got all the features you need, and you just really can't go wrong.
Really?
And we offer it in a lot of different calibers, too. And
so what caliber do you recommend?
No, it depends on the person, right?
Come on, I'm clueless.
Dude,
help me out here.
You want to know what really rocks?
What?
280 Ackley Improved.
280?
The 280 Ackley Improved.
Ackley Improved. What's that?
It's a Wildcat cartridge. Seriously, I'm not a ballistics geeky girl at all, right? I just kind of you're standard calibers and stuff. It's got some pretty kick butt ballistics to it, but it's got a manageable recoil. It's just got a lot of power to reach out and touch something. And
Can you shoot an elk with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the diversity in it. So, right? I mean, for years, and actually I'm new to the 280 Ackley game. I just got one last year. And I'd been watching my buddies Alan and Ryan shoot with it for years. And they would shoot anything from deer to antelope to elk. And you just name it. It was a really versatile cartridge. So I was super stoked. And it's wildly popular. It's limited ammunition, but you can definitely get it. A lot of people love to reload for that. But other than that, I've been shooting 300 short mags for a very long time. I'm a huge fan. In fact, my husband and I used to literally get in fights over who was going to take the 300 short mags, so I had to get 2. So now we
saved the marriage.
No, the things we fight about.
Had to buy 2.
So at least we see eye to eye on the expenditure of gear. That we're kind of gear. Actually, he's a much
You're
better.
You're both enablers.
He's a better gear junkie than I am. He just knows I won't argue with it. He's just what about this? I'm yes, we need that. Why wouldn't we need? We need 4 of them. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so that's good info. And then handgun.
Right.
If you're going into the backcountry or whatever and a guy wants to take a handgun with him, what do you recommend?
So personal preference, but I mean, obviously you're going to try and be protecting yourself from a bear probably in a close encounter, right?
Yep.
There's a couple different options. I mean, and it's not just Kimber, too. I am going to be So you just talked about guns, and a gun's not my first go-to for the backcountry protection. It's bear spray.
Okay.
I really think that needs to be a person's first line of defense, because we've all seen, we all know of, dude, straight up, if you have a bear charging you and you're shooting at something, like, really, how accurate are you going to be? Like, if you're even able to hit this thing coming at you, it's still going to chew the snot out of you. I mean, it's a fact, right?
Right.
And just there's so much. I know people that have used it. I feel super comfortable with it. I always carry bear spray on my hip. And I hunt in Northwest Montana. I mean, grizzly bears are a legit threat all the time. In fact, I would rather face a grizzly bear, as I told everybody, than a spider or a snake in the Southwest. I'm just like, I will literally lose my mind. I will freeze going like, oh my God, if there's a snake. And I'll like traipse through grizzly bear country being like, I got this. We're good.
With a can of spray.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
So honestly, I really am a huge proponent of going to that first. But obviously for a backup, I mean, like if you want to go 1911, I think you should go 10 millimeter. That's just what you should do. And if for revolvers, I mean, Smith & Wesson actually makes some really great Scandium frame, like 44 Magnums that are really amazing. We've got those. Kimber just came out with a really awesome small carry snub nose 357. In fact, Mike,
it's a big gun.
Mike, he's so funny. He's like, when will you get me one of these? He's like, the grizzly bears are coming out, and I need one of these right now. So I'm like, all right, man. So yeah, we've got that awesome new revolver. It's just now hitting markets. It's actually a 6-round 357, 2-inch barrel on it. It weighs about 24 ounces. So yeah, it's a pretty kick butt little revolver, and it's super manageable, great ergonomics, and people are absolutely just tripping out over the trigger. It's a very easily the pull on the trigger. It's stageable, and most double action revolver triggers, actually, people don't shoot double action revolvers very well. At least if you're lazy like me and you actually don't like train or do so. And but this trigger is actually it's very stageable. So it's people are tripping out over it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean those would be my suggestion. I mean those are some good go-tos.
You can't talk about guns and not like want one.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like
you can never have too many.
Yeah.
I help so many people It's so like I rationalize the purchase, and it's like, but my wife, and I'm like, how many Coach purses is your wife hanging in her closet? Let's speak in terms that women will understand. Like Jimmy Choo shoes, really? Like how many pairs? Like we can work through this. Like there are ways to get this done. So.
That is great.
Yep.
So how can people follow you?
Me?
Yeah. You got an Instagram account?
I do. So my Instagram is Montana Ray Ray, MTRAERAE, Montana Ray Ray.
Montana Ray Ray.
Yeah, that's my personal thing. And it's fun, like with I've been in social media for a little while. I mean, just as a person, right? And it's really fun. For the longest time, I'd go on hunts and everything, and I was talking about like, I love the places that my rifle takes me.
Yeah.
And it's really fun because honestly, I don't like backpacking, and I like hiking with an end goal of fishing or hunting or something like that. And so I love that my rifle makes me get out there. It doesn't make me, but it does, get out there and do all this stuff. And so I'm really trying to encourage people to really appreciate the spaces and the places that it takes them.
How can they connect to Kimber on social media? Yeah,
Kimber on social media. Kimber is basically kimberamerica.com on the website. Okay. We've got you can just search us on Facebook. It's, Kimber on Facebook and Kimber on Instagram. So you can definitely find us very easy. Obviously a million different hashtags out there.
Are you guys pretty active on social media? You working on that?
We are. We're getting there. We're getting there for sure. Especially in the hunting, lots and lots and lots of handgun stuff, and really getting some really fun, awesome content.
Handguns are just sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. They kind of are.
It's gun porn.
Yeah, it really is.
It's gun porn. And it's the short gun porn. Like, really? No, everyone loves beautiful pictures of handguns. It is.
There are some people who are just, I look at them and they're like 50,000 people follow them on Instagram. I'm like, what is it? And it's just handgun picture after handgun picture.
Yeah.
That's
it. It's great. And especially Instagram. Instagram's very visual, right?
Yeah.
And so for handguns, what people want to see is these just like gorgeous pictures of firearms and everything. And then with rifles, it's different. People want to see this aspirational, oh my gosh. In fact, Ryan Bussey just he challenged me on Facebook with those like 7 days of nature. I don't know.
I fail those every time, man.
And literally we're sitting there together. He's like, I'm sitting next to you. You can't not do it. I'm like,
seven
oh my God.
black and white, seven.
So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And he was like, just go on and find one of your stupid, awesome pictures of hunting and post it. I'm like, okay, in honor of BHA. So today I posted, one of my awesome pictures from this last hunting season.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, people want to see, it's like, I really want to see these like amazing aspirational places that people go, and like, I can't wait to go there.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel, this was awesome. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I love the couch scenario here. This
Yeah,
is way
dude.
better.
We talked about the 70s kind of creepiness about it, but
Dude, it's round.
we didn't.
It's
yeah.
awesome. All we needed, we should go put them around.
There's a hot tub
in
right
there.
back here. So
It's round too. It's gonna be like hot tub couch time.
we talked about doing it in the hot tub, but figured it would probably.
Someone might get electrocuted.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go there.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Well, you going to the banquet?
Oh, absolutely.
Can't wait.
Yes, can't wait. The banquet, if you have not been, BHA, man, throws a good party. And I think it's because we all love to hang out and party next to campfires. And so we all have this, it's like
I've never been, so.
Oh, gee.
But I can tell it's going to be good.
Have you heard about the number of people?
What, like 800 or
Well,
what?
so
What is it?
the
like
fire
500
marshal
or?
cut us off at like 560, right? The fire marshal's like, you can't have any more. And he was like, and that's like pretty tight, but like we're at like maximum capacity. Like hundreds of people are being turned away to come to this thing. And I was like, don't worry. It's just like, when they say it's a 6-man tent? Okay, well, you can put 6 men in it. It's really cozy. This is like, it should be a 4-man tent, but it's a 6-man tent. Everybody's like, we're with you. Like, and we can totally do this. Like, we're the group of people that can do this. So it's good. Yeah, it'll be fun. Hopefully you guys will be in there having a good time.
It'll be a little warm. It's pretty hot. Like, it feels warm inside this building.
I'm so glad I brought flannel to wear tonight. It's so hot. It's so hot.
It is.
But yeah, have you found anything to bid on?
No, dude, we haven't left the couch, man. I mean, we went out for the cook-off thing.
And how was it?
We didn't even get. There's too many people in there.
Was it a mob scene?
Yeah, it was bad.
So that Camp Chef cook-off, baby, it's my baby. That's my
Really?
baby. I was like, we got to get Camp Chef in here. We got to get like some serious cooking action going on.
We can thank Rachel Vandevoort for that.
For the Camp
folks.
Chef cook-off,
Yeah.
Yes.
Full credit
Appreciate
right
that.
here.
Oh.
Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, hey, thanks for having me.
Thank
All right,
you.
stay gritty.
Yeah, you're great.
Okay, gritty friends, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. If you did, please take a moment to leave us a review on iTunes, Podbean, or Stitcher. We love reading your reviews. And connect with us on social media if you're on there. Look us up on Facebook and Instagram, and take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can receive notifications when we upload new videos. We've got a sweet deal with Mountain Ops. You get 20% off on all Mountain Ops supplements, combo packs, and apparel when you type in the word gritty at checkout. If you're a hardcore elk hunter, or you want to be, go to the Elk 101 website online and check them out. Our friend Corey Jacobson is killing it with some of the best elk hunting information and entertainment on the web. If you haven't heard, we're doing a huge gear giveaway to try and grow and expand the gritty community on Facebook and Instagram. I asked a bunch of friends to pitch in on this gear giveaway, and they all came through with some awesome stuff. Our friends at Kafaru, Rockslide, First Light, Phelps Game Calls, One Shot Gear, Mountain Ops, Triple X Archery, Blacktail Outdoors, and Is It September Yet are pitching in some sweet gear for the giveaway. We'll announce all the details in the next few weeks. All you have to do to be entered to win is like our Gritty Bowmen Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. All right, friends, let me leave you with one other quote from Theodore Roosevelt, who said, "It behooves every man to remember that the work of the critic is of altogether secondary importance, and that, in the end, progress is accomplished by the man who does things." We all have a choice. We can be people who do things or people who criticize the work of others. It's pretty simple, really. Get out there and do your thing. Good luck on your hunts, and stay gritty.
This is Ty Stubblefield, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
Gritty Bowmen.